Good evening. You're watching Left, Right and Centre. I'm Natasha Jog. The big story of this evening, Bihar governor for president is the Dalit leader, BJP's Masterstroke. That's what we are looking at on a day when many of us who are not familiar with the name Nath Kovind. But that changed. Mr. Kovind, who has been governor of Bihar for 3 years and looks like will be moving straight from Raj Bhavan to Rashtrapati Bhavan very soon. He's the BJP's choice to succeed President Pranab Mukherjee, a move that has put the 71-year-old Dalit leader in the spotlight, brought the focus on Dalit politics and seems to have broken opposition unity on the choice of India's next president.
Were you expecting this, sir?
We will talk later on. And thank you for being here.
Are you glad that your name has been announced, sir?
I have a lot of good wishes for the state of Bihar. It has been a wonderful experience with rich culture, rich tradition, and everything rich. Thank you very much. Thank you.
आप राष्ट्रपति पद के लिए आप नामित होंगे, आपको एनडीए राष्ट्रपति बनाने के लिए चुनाव के लिए घोषित करेगी। आपने कभी सोचा था, सर?
उस दिशा में हमारा कोई ध्यान नहीं था. I had been working here quite satisfactorily.
But sir, don't you think it's a matter of pride?
Matter of pride, you see, it's a duty. Let us take it as a duty.
जिस प्रकार से फीडबैक मिले और समाज जीवन के भी कई हिस्सों से चर्चा करने के बाद एक लंबी सूची का विचार आज भारतीय जनता पार्टी के पार्लियामेंट्री बोर्ड में हुआ। एनडीए के प्रत्याशी के रूप में आज श्री नाथ कोविंद गवर्नर बिहार का नाम तय किया गया है।
राष्ट्रपति पद के लिए एनडीए की तरफ से जो घोषित उम्मीदवार है उस पर कांग्रेस पार्टी अभी कोई टिप्पणी नहीं करना चाहता है। द नेक्स्ट डेट of the meeting has already been fixed for 22nd of this month.
जब वो पहले आए थे राजनाथ सिंह जी और वेंकैया नायडू जी प्रधानमंत्री और बीजेपी अध्यक्ष के संदेशा लेकर उन्होंने कहा था कि हम चाहेंगे कि सामूहिक तरीके से राष्ट्रपति का चुनाव हो। इसमें कोई दो राय नहीं है, अगर ये हो सकता तो अच्छी बात है। हमने कहा बताइए कौन है आपके प्रतिनिधि। उसका जवाब उनके पास उस समय नहीं था। उस समय उन्होंने कहा कि हम जब तय करेंगे फिर आपसे सलाह मशवरा करने आएंगे। आज टेलीफोन आता है उनसे ये कहते हुए कि उन्होंने तय कर लिया, तो सलाह मशवरा का गुंजाइश तो छोड़ा नहीं।
ये शुरू से ही अधिकांश बीजेपी व आरएसएस से ही जुड़े रहे हैं, इसलिए उनकी इस राजनीतिक पृष्ठभूमि से तो मैं कतई भी सहमत नहीं हूं। लेकिन बीजेपी व इनके एनडीए ने अब इनको राष्ट्रपति पद के लिए अपना उम्मीदवार तय कर लिया है, तो ऐसी स्थिति में इनके दलित होने के नाते इनके प्रति हमारी पार्टी का स्टैंड नकारात्मक तो नहीं हो सकता है।
सबको समर्थन करना चाहिए और जो नहीं समर्थन करेंगे माना जाएगा कि ये दलित विरोधी हैं।
And that really sums up the whole host of political reactions we've got. You have to support him, says Ramvilas Paswan. There really is no other way. Large parts of the opposition, many members of the opposition, in fact, sort of taking a we'll get back to you kind of approach on this issue. Let me introduce my panel to you right away. I'm joined by Abhijit Dwivedi, spokesperson of the ABVP. Also with me in the Delhi studios, Debashish Jararia of the BSP. I'm joined from Mumbai by Sunil Alak, political commentator. Joining me from Delhi also Ajoy Kumar, spokesperson of the Congress, and D. Raja of the CPI will be with us shortly as well. Debashish Jararia, let me start by asking you. This is exactly what Mayawati said, which really sums up why this is being described as a masterstroke, because very few are now going to contest the candidature of Mr. Kovind, really, given his background, given his years of service, the way he's being described, and of course the fact that he is a Dalit leader as well.
See, as the party stand is clear now that Mayawati ji has said that being a Dalit face, she is not going to be negative against him. But it's not yet decided, because on 22nd there is a meeting, opposition parties are meeting. If a popular leader from Dalit community name is...
From the Dalit community, that's of course very clear, she said that. He's good unless they come up with a better Dalit.
Yeah, surely, because we can't go against a name of a Dalit person. This is kind of strategy that BJP has taken back, because Dalit card is what they are trying to play when there is a big Dalit uprising is happening in Gujarat. We have seen that in Uttar Pradesh. We have seen that. So this is a type of politics BJP is doing so that they can muzzle those voices which have been quite काफी ज्यादा जो उठ रही हैं, उनको अब खत्म करने की साजिश है.
And the Dalit vote ahead of 2019. But would you agree also that this is perhaps a masterstroke, which is why, like you're saying, that given all the voices that they've seen from Dalit, from Dalit activists, there is nothing
in politics. There is a masterstroke unless another party plays a masterstroke. Okay. So we should wait until 22nd. Let's see what opposition parties decides.
Okay.
After that we can.
Let's see what opposition parties decide. Ajoy Kumar, at the moment, as things stand, that this is not just, of course, perhaps ensured that they do get a significant amount of the Dalit vote in 2019, but clearly also divided the opposition, which seemed rather united, really, for once. Isn't that true? So do things really get tougher for the opposition from here on?
No, Natasha, sorry, one of the biggest fallacy is that when you choose a candidate and then you make a symbolic, I mean, it's an important symbolic gesture, but the fallacy is that the Bharatiya Janata Party's anti-Dalit origin and activities doesn't mean that, you know, just because they chose a candidate, and with all due respect to the present governor of Bihar, but because they chose a Dalit candidate doesn't mean that all their sins get washed away in UP, Saharanpur, or in Gujarat, or across India. So the question again is, so I would, you know, never use such words like masterstroke. And the second issue is to convert every candidate's presidential or a vice presidential candidate's caste or a community kneeling as in a vote bank politics, because what actually gets you votes on the ground is what the community perceives you. And as far as the opposition is concerned, we would, all the opposition leaders who were there in the earlier meeting are going to meet on the 22nd, and then they will take a decision. But what is interesting is that even their allies were informed, and so it wasn't a consensus even within the NDA. Forget, they kept telling that the opposition will be taken into confidence.
But few have really opposed the choice, really come out strongly and opposed your choice. Wouldn't you agree, Joy? We haven't seen that. Mamta Banerjee, perhaps being one of those few, come out and spoken openly, also sort of adding that rider, saying that I am not questioning the credentials of Mr. Kovind. This is not a comment on him, but, and then of course adding her reservations to it. So few will oppose. Doesn't it look like that, given the choice that the BJP has made?
Look, if you look at the previous elections also, when Mr. K.R. Narayan or earlier elections also, when the opposition, when the different candidates and the opposition did not put up a candidate, the question again is, I think it's not the background of Mr. Govind at all. The question again is, there are two aspects to it. One is to believe that choosing a Dalit presidential candidate and is going to reduce the BJP's crimes to the Dalit community across India is a fallacy which we need to address, and that's a question of, you know, political, how the messaging goes. So those are two issues. The second issue is, yes,
political
in fact,
move and perhaps a symbol,
the candidate
really.
is
okay. But that's the point that you're making. What is it beyond symbolism?
No,
would you like
Natasha, I'll just finish with 30 seconds.
Okay, okay.
Go ahead. No, so I'm just saying that the fact is that the Bharatiya Janata Party keeps propagating consensus and discussion, and like Mr. Ghulam Nabi Azad and the other leaders of the opposition have said, no names were proposed. So my question is again, is if you want a consensus, and I hope this the presidential candidate was brought about with consensus without election, that would have been an ideal situation.
Okay.
But it's beyond this, the present government or the present BJP mindset to do that.
All right. I'm going to talk about consensus in just a bit, but Abhijit, I do want to ask, we've heard Mr. Yechuri say that this is a political choice since he's an RSS man, saying that from here on we're going to see a political contest. Mamata Banerjee said he's only been picked because he's a BJP man. It's just sort of optics, little else is what the Congress is saying. How would you sort of respond to that?
I don't see a simple example wherein just a political man has been brought and appointed as the to be as nominated as the president, next probable president candidate of India. I think that this is extension of the politics of the BJP and the kind of social work which RSS has been doing. The idea of this is an example of an inclusive governance wherein sabka saath sabka vikas. A person from Dalit community has been called and appointed as the to be nominated for the post of president. Even as far as RSS is concerned, the idea of Samajik Samrastha. Recently, Bala Sahab, Param Pujni Bala Sahab Devra's birthday was being celebrated, and he has given the idea of Samajik Samrastha. So, Mr. Kovind has been working in Uttar Pradesh and rural areas, and as far as example is concerned, from where he is coming and what he is going to become. I guess this is an example. This is an example wherein when the famous of the constitutions have, when Baba Sahib Ambedkar has said that at the appointment of the person, so that
in
only
that spirit you're saying, and of course
in that
there's no
spirit
doubt
that anybody can come, anybody from any background can come, and he can become the president of India.
Okay.
Another point which I wish to bring to the knowledge of Mr. Ajay Kumar is that if you see that who is the government who has been responsible for the largest number of constitutional amendment for the rights of the Dalit community, you will see that the largest number of constitutional amendments for the welfare of the Dalit community has taken place during the regime of the BJP government, last BJP government. Even
so
under
not
this
just
government,
political tokenism is the point that you're making. Not just political.
A lot of work has been done for the Dalit community.
Okay, not just political
Natasha.
Tokenism. 1 second, Ajay, I'll just get you in. I need to get Sunil Alag into this. This is, of course, someone, as we've been seeing on Twitter, that, journalists still trying to figure out who Mr. Kovind was when the name was announced, how his Wikipedia page was really buzzing. It was a surprise and sort of in tune with just how unpredictable this government, especially its top leadership, likes to be. Sunil Alag, have they really pulled a rabbit out of the hat? Is this the BJP's Pratibha Patil moment?
I see Ajay saying it's not a master stroke or whatever. I think it's definitely caught the opposition napping. Forget about master stroke or not. The question is that very few of us know very much about Nath Kovind ji, but you cannot evaluate a president based on politics because is he the right person or not? Take a look at him. He's been a Supreme Court lawyer. He's educated. As far as most people are concerned, he's non-controversial. You can say BJP, RSS, whatever. He's never got into any controversy. He's run Bihar government as a governor without getting into any controversy. He's the kind of person, he's only about 71. He's not doddering. He can walk on his own feet. He's intelligent. He speaks well. What do you want as the president? The Congress chose Pratibha Patil. Let's not forget that, Ajay. Where was the consensus on Pratibha Patil? Nobody had heard of her. And she was, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not passing anything about her, but she was chosen and she's the most inconsequential president we've ever had. So the fact remains that you have to evaluate this gentleman on the basis of what he stands for. Is he going to represent India correctly? Is he representing everything that you want? And once it's there, where's the question of consensus? Consensus would arrive if BJP took 2 or 3 names. They've only given one name. That's
Natasha,
it. Now, either you accept it or you don't accept it.
Okay.
Now, they can carry on talking about the process, but all in all, I think it's a terrific choice.
And a consensus
Definitely
has
better
really
than Pratibha Patil by miles.
Only happened once,
by
but there was, I think, there was just so much talk. One moment. There was just so much talk.
One last point. From 1947, there's never been a presidential election where the opposition hasn't put up someone. Go ahead and put someone up. Let's see who wins then. There's never been one consensus candidate ever. I mean,
Except
so why are we debating on
Natasha,
whether it's
and
going to
that's
be a
the point I was trying to bring in with Ajay. Ajay,
I think it's great for India to have a president like him. Full stop.
Okay.
Just one point.
Ajay, I'm just
Ajay sir can address this question. when the interview of Mr. Ram Kumar Kovind
So,
was being taken, he has said that his first obligation will be to perform the duties. His stress on the duty tells us what he is and what he will be going to do.
And my first question to you, I know that you want to respond, is just let's talk about consensus briefly. The fact that we've rarely seen a consensus, perhaps Neelam Sanjeeva Reddy, the only president where there really was real consensus. Others have always seen an opposition candidate, even if there's been a walkover. So why should this time really be any different? And is that a fair stick to try and beat the government with?
So the three issues. So first of all, my ABP friend, I want to remind him, they have such selective memory of being pro-Dalit, the RSS. So they should start with Mr. Golwalkar ji, the Honorable Guru, and the bunch of thoughts and what they feel about the Dalit Samaj.
Page number.
You should tell the page number, I guess.
Just tell the page number.
Saying that one sec, let me complete, my friend. I didn't interrupt you.
Sorry, sir.
I didn't interrupt you, sir.
Okay.
Please listen.
Okay.
I didn't interrupt you, so have the courtesy to listen. So Golwalkar ji's bunch of thoughts, please disown on the TV, which was so anti-Dalit, which is the RSS fountain of anti-Dalitism, but you'll continue to pretend it doesn't exist.
Page number.
So please tell me on national TV that Mr.
Sir, you tell the page number. Sir, you tell the page number, sir.
Second.
Do you know the idea of Samajik
Sunil has got Sunil has got a limited sense of history. So one sec, can I complete, sir? I didn't interrupt you, my friend.
Somebody else is speaking.
Sunil Alagh ji has got such a limited sense of history. So such a limited sense of history that Sunil Alagh ji will forget Pranab Mukherjee, will forget Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, will forget Rajendra Prasad, will forget Shankar Dayal Sharma. So my friend Sunil is, please stop this. Stop this selective history. Arey Sunil, can I finish? I didn't interrupt you, Sunil. Sunil,
let's discuss Pratibha Patil.
Everybody.
Okay, fine.
Mr. Sunil Alagh, did I interrupt you?
Yeah, okay. Go ahead, Ajoy.
Relax,
Make
Mr.
it quick.
Sunil Alagh, have the courtesy, sir.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, so Sunil ji, the problem is this. You have such selective comments to make on issues. So please go to facts.
Now
you pick up Pratibha Patil ji and dishonor her. She was a president of India. She won a fair election.
I'm not dishonoring anyone. No. Please,
I just need to interrupt.
Is this choice have you got anything against Ramnath Kovind or not?
So can
That's
I
the question that we've got to answer.
I just need to interrupt.
Is there anything against Ramnath Kovind or not? Ajoy, just let's stick to the presidential choice.
Arey Sunil ji, listen or let me complete.
History and personal amnesia and all that.
Sunil Alagh, Ajoy Kumar, one moment. Let's just try and get some. So let's just try and make sure that the viewers watching tonight are able to hear your views loud and clear, which doesn't happen when everyone speaks over everyone else. Ajoy, I'll let you complete. I'll give you a quick 15 seconds, Ajoy, if you can just complete your thoughts for us before I get the other panelists in.
So three main points. Love for the Dalits are only political. Mr. Golwalkar reflects Guru Golwalkar ji, according to RSS, reflects what they think, what their ideas about the caste system is. Second issue is that the political consensus, even TN session against President Narayanan, the election, there was no opposition candidate, except I think Shiv Sena supported him. So if you look back to history, there have been many issues where there's been a consensus. The third issue was it was the BJP which started saying we want to build consensus. They started sending emissaries to different parties. So the question is, if you want to build a consensus, then don't do this sound and light show and photoshopping. Either it's a genuine consensus or it is not. So the BJP sent these three ministers. They say they want to build consensus and then they don't.
Okay, that's a good point. I'm just going to get you to respond to just that point, Abhijit, the point about consensus, which is what they're saying, that there seem to be overtures from the government, from the BJP, to say we want to have a consensus candidate. Now, of course, there's all that saying that, was consensus only for the NDA? Was it for the opposition? Was there any real move or desire for a consensus candidate? Because at the end of the day, the numbers are there with party and they can see it through. But quickly,
I will answer this question. The party with almost negligible presence other than Kerala, Sitaram Yechury's party have been also consulted. On consensus was tried to be emerged. But the point and maybe what happened in the communication, we are not privy to that fact that what has happened, what was the communication. Maybe the kind of conditions which were being stressed by the other party by their party may have given them an impression that it is not possible for them to go ahead with this possibility. Because otherwise they have tried, they have met so many people who are negligible, whose consent or no consent, whose presence in that consensus was not that relevant, but they went ahead and talked.
Can I comment? So there are two things. first of all, making a Dalit name as a president and choosing him as a president doesn't give surety that Dalit are going to be uplifted by BJP. I'm just trying to make one single point that there are around 40 MPs, Dalit MPs BJP have. That is around 15% of the total strength BJP in Lok Sabha. Please tell me how many cabinet minister BJP has made as a Dalit. So this is only a rubber stamping thing of a Dalit. They are trying to make a Dalit as a portrayal, as a ceremonial face, and they do their further stuff like Dalit atrocities. They are rising.
It seems to work. You would agree.
No,
it doesn't. As far as
see,
the politics is concerned, it does seem to work.
As far as the community is concerned,
largest number of ministers in any part, in any government, largest number of ministers belonging to Dalit community has been in this NDA government, and you can counter check.
How many? Please tell me one cabinet minister from Dalit community.
Thawar-Chand Gehlot. Just to refresh your memory, Thawar-Chand Gehlot.
I just want to come
he
back.
was also part of the. He's the social justice minister, for your information.
So social justice,
and there are several other examples.
There are several other examples. Is that
largest number of members.
Why Dalit can't be a home minister? Why Dalit can't be a
Please tell me. Let me introduce. Let me finally introduce.
When? It will be. Give me a timeline.
3 years have been passed already.
There have been cases.
Gentlemen, we're still glad to have D. Raja, CPI MP of Rajya Sabha, joining us. Thanks very much, sir. We have, thankfully, enough time to get you in on the program. First up, we've seen what the choice of Mr. Kovind has done for opposition unity. Would you say that as far as the choice of president is concerned, the opposition, which seemed to be united on this, is now in complete disarray?
I do not think so. Opposition is not in disarray. Opposition is a very matured opposition in India, and we are going to meet on 22nd of this month. A collective decision, and we will be deciding first. And because Rashtrapati election is a very critical election in the history of our country, it has far-reaching implications on the future of our democracy and the future of our nation. And it is a very critical election. It is not just we are electing one individual and put him in Rashtrapati Bhavan. No. It has serious implication. That is why the opposition is going to meet on 22nd, because the Prime Minister or BJP constituted a 3-member committee, and Mr. Rajnath Singh, Mr. Venkaiah Naidu were meeting all political parties. They came to our party headquarters, but they did not come with any proposal. They did not come with any name. Rather, they asked our suggestions. We gave our suggestions. We said, in the given situation, the person who is going to be the candidate should be one known for secular democratic credentials, who is a liberal. One should not be from hardcore Hindutva. We made it very clear. Now, even RSS ideologues claim the contest for Rashtrapati is a battle of ideologies. What does it mean? As far as I am concerned, it is battle for safeguarding the constitution which has been given to us by Dr. Ambedkar and galaxy of leaders. It is battle for secular democracy in our country. And that is why this election is critical, and opposition parties are going to meet and decide.
A battle of ideology. Sunil, I'll come in here. The point that Mr. Yechuri made clearly very valid this evening, a political choice. So this is now going to be a political contest. The opposition clearly will have to pull a rabbit out of the hat 3 days from now.
You know, look, it's what Raja has just said, Mr. Raja has just said is correct. When, according to him, they had a discussion, the consensus, they didn't have a name, neither did the opposition have a name, but the opposition said this is the kind of person we want. And I think from the point of view of what they've just said, they've chosen the kind of person they want. As far as there's no controversy, he's not done anything wrong. He's a well-spoken person, erudite, he's a lawyer, he's been a governor, he's a politician. I mean, he's done everything that you ask for. So I don't know, at best now, they will try and pull, I can guarantee you, they'll try and pull someone out who's also a Dalit. So they'll put a Dalit versus a Dalit, and then they will have a question of who's going to vote and who's not going to vote. But it's opposition for the sake of opposition now. And as far as most of us are concerned, this gentleman has been chosen. He seems to be the best choice. He seems to be a good person. And I'm saying the word seems because I don't know enough about him. So unless they really come up with someone who can overturn everything, it's more or less a given conclusion, whether you like it or not. This gentleman is going to be the president. They have the power. And that's it. So Congress has done it all their lives, and even when CPM was supporting Congress, they also did the same thing. Like, come on, give everybody a break. The people don't want an opposition for the sake of an opposition. If they had chosen a bad person, by all means, I'd have been with them. They've chosen a gentleman in all form. Now, what are they going to oppose? I don't know. I really don't know.
Okay. Before I go to Ajoy Kumar, Mr. Raja, come in at this point. Is this now opposition for opposition's sake? The point that Sunil Alagh is making, that he's perhaps sticking, Mr. Kovind perhaps does tick many of those boxes there. So is it sort of fair to oppose him just because the name did not come from the opposition or wasn't discussed with the opposition? Is that something you'd be willing to consider?
You are asking me?
Yes, sir.
Firstly, opposition is not for the sake of opposition. It is a political opposition. We have problems with the BJP brand of politics, the BJP brand of ideology. We think the ideology of BJP is nothing but a sectarian, communal, fascist ideology. It is ideology of RSS, and we have problem with this ideology, and that is where we raise certain fundamental questions. They challenge the very constitution, they challenge the very secular democratic fabric of our society. It is not question of Dalits. I am telling you, Mr. K.R. Narayan was president of this country, and everybody knows who was K.R. Narayan. That was the time there was an attempt to change the fundamental tenets of the constitution. That was Mr. K.R. Narayanan who did not allow that. He put down his strong opposition, and he didn't allow constitution to be tampered or changed. Now there is an attack on the constitution. There is an attack on the secular democracy. That is where our apprehension, our political concern is how to safeguard the constitution and secular democracy.
Okay, I know that you want to respond to that, but I'm starting to wrap, so I want to give everyone sort of the last word. You want to respond to that?
Natasha, I would like to respond.
I'm getting you in, Ajoy. Just give me a minute. I'm coming to you.
I would like to respond to D. Raja sir that the party which in 1955 and 1954 has said that we will bring the constitution to log, stock, barrel, and constitution is a tool of exploitation, is giving us lecture on the issue that we are not following the constitution. On the other hand, BJP on 11 September 1949 has said that RSS has said that we believe in the idea of constitution, and I think this is an inclusive candidate. The point put by Sitaram Yechuri ji when the candidate name was not declared, he said that we will oppose any candidate from BJP. This is a bite which you will find. So I think the point made by Sunil Alagh sir is right.
So you're still saying that this is
they are opposing for the sake of opposition.
Whoever you put up,
they will oppose anyone. They can oppose anyone.
Which is what we've seen all these years. Ajoy, you wanted to come in, but I just want to ask you a quick question, and I'm sorry, but I have to urge you to give me a short answer. Which is we've seen the BSP saying that they're not going to be able to go against this choice unless, of course, you come up with another candidate, the Dalit candidate who they can back, as vehemently. The SP unlikely to go against this. Again, they're seeing a Dalit face from Uttar Pradesh. Nitish Kumar has said he's had a great equation with him, so that's that as well. The Shiv Sena, we haven't heard, at least as far as before the show started, but unlikely we are hearing to go against this. So, as things stand, how do you sort of see this going forward?
No, the question again is, what will happen when all the opposition leaders meet on the 22nd is premature for me to say it. Obviously, there will be a great deal of debate, but I want to say a couple of, I'll make it short. When my colleague from ABVP says they believe in the constitution, I want to remind them that actually the RSS wanted the Manusmriti as instead of the constitution.
Sir,
these are historical facts. Whether we want to take the RSS way. Secondly, one sec, let me complete. I don't interrupt you. You start off.
Yes, Ajoy,
the problem
with because you are misinforming, sir.
I'm just completely
misinforming, sir. You are misinforming, sir.
Let him complete. Let him complete because we
are
wrapping on that.
Can I complete, sir?
Yeah.
I will not get into a discussion like this otherwise. Mr. Sunil Alagh says that he's a nice guy. The politics is not nice guy or good guy. It's a matter of what you believe in. What the RSS stands for, what you don't stand for. The question is, we have nothing personal against any candidate. Nice guy, bad guy is not the issue in politics. Is what principle you are, what beliefs you come under, and what ideology you come under. So let's not, lower politics to a level where you say, he's a nice guy, that guy is a bad guy. It's, becoming
battle of ideologies.
It would be very what you call, I wouldn't like to use a strong word like juvenile, But it's not. That's not you know how a national politics should play. Nice guy, bad guy. That's not the way
you've made your point. You've made your point. I'm afraid I have to wrap on this, but a battle for ideology. So this is going to be a political contest, even though it really might be a walkover. In fact, in all indications, that's what it is going to be. But thank you all, gentlemen, so much for your time this evening.